Good morning. Today we're doing some website and YouTube channel reviews. Whether you get yours reviewed or not, this will be helpful. Everybody always gets some, what I like to call value shrapnel here, where when we help one person, it also helps many others too. And that's the beauty of live. That's the beauty of this kind of thing. That's the beauty of information on the internet. And I just want to say thank you for joining me this morning. We're going to go for about an hour's length, and I'm going to help as many people as possible. And I'm looking forward to it. So let's get this party started. Thank you.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right. Let's get this party started. Let's say hello to our friends here. We got Bernard, John, Shonda, Peasant Uprising, Stephanie. Thank you both for moderating, by the way. I think Just Samson's probably in house too. Justin, Dustin, Bill, Nilufar, Karen, Martin, welcome in. Maple Points, Nadia, what's up? We got, who else? Who do we got? We got Andrew, CV, Elton. This one's for Elton, by the way. That's for you, my friend. I know you love that. We got Ryan and Tonika. Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. Siddharth, amazing. This is so cool. It's just, I feel very grateful that I can start the morning and there's already people here that we can serve. And what's cool about this is the chat loves to serve each other too. So if you're in the chat right now live, say hello to your friends here. If you're here watching the replay, hashtag team replay. And again, we're going to be going into specifically helping websites and YouTube channels get better. Good volume on the music. Thank you. Yes, I learned from yesterday. The Downton Show. Welcome in. Dawn. Excellent. So we're on day 304. We are about 61 days from the big show, day 365. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we're going to be having some fire happen that day. 365 minutes worth of streaming on day 365, which is sort of our end goal here. After that, don't worry, I'm not going away. I might be going live weekly after that, but I'm definitely going to be focusing on more of these pre-recorded videos that can help reach more people. And then who knows, there might come a point where we're going to go live daily again. And I know this has been, that's going to be very bittersweet because we've become really good friends here. And every day we have even new people here as well. So before we get started with some website reviews, I have a website to actually go over. And then I'm going to be asking you to see if you'd like to get your stuff looked at as well. But today we're going to start with Marissa from awinestory.com. And before we get to that, I do want to talk about what I'm going to be looking for, whether it's a YouTube channel or website. There's some specific things that we all need to focus on as creators here that's really, really important. When I go and visit this page or this website or this YouTube channel, I want to know if I can understand who this is for and why I need to stick around and watch videos. If I don't understand that, then it's going to be very difficult for anybody new who comes and finds you to understand to stick around, of course. And so that's number one. Is it clear who this is for or what I'm going to get here, right? And you don't need to necessarily be very specific on your tagline, like, hey, you are a author, I help you make money. Although that's actually a really good tagline because then it's very clear. And if you're not an author, you land there, it's not for you. If you are an author, you're like, wow, this is definitely for me. So you see what I mean? Number two, I also want to look to see what makes this brand stand out from other brands, right? There's a lot of people probably serving the same audience. I want to know what makes your specific take, unique angle, position, point unique. Number three, I also want to just look for general design, general tips and whatnot and advice to help you help people who are on your website or your YouTube channel also. On YouTube, I'm going to be looking at things like playlists and understanding hooks of your videos. And we're going to actually look at some of your videos and see what we can do to help out. And then also on your website, if you go to a specific page, for example, it's a page where you're actually asking people to email you or you want to accept a payment of some kind, are you actually making it as easy as possible to do? Along those same lines, I'm looking for guidance. Are you guiding my journey through your positioning, through your brand, through your content? A lot of times when we create blogs and YouTube channels, you know, it's very much a just, well, whatever I feel like creating at the time. It's not necessarily the same order that people should be consuming that. So can we position a place to get started? Both on YouTube and a playlist can work, a welcome video, or perhaps on a website, a start here page, or do this first, right? And then finally, I'm going to offer some tips based on just anything that might be a red flag. And of course, I'm going to be very honest and upfront, but at the same time, I'm going to try to be encouraging at the same time. I had one person, when I did this review for their website, get really upset with what I was saying, but of course, this all comes from a place of service. So again, I'm here to help. This is a safe space for all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm really excited. So I think Dr. Severin Bryan is ready for her YouTube channel to get reviewed. So I'm going to write you down. Thank you, Dr. Severin Bryan. I know you might be a little bit nervous as well, right? Fit over 50 as well. I see, my friend. And this is, how do we select this? This is really just at random and what comments I see at what time. And I try to get more in if I can, but we're going to start with those 3 and go from there. So we got Marissa from awinestory.com. We're going to start there. Dr. Severin Bryan, her YouTube channel, as well as Fit Over 50 and his YouTube channel as well. So again, thank you so much for coming in. Big yay to everybody who has volunteered so far. And we're going to go check these things out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a website here, awinestory.com. I also have to close a whole bunch of windows here on my end because it's definitely getting in the way from my perspective. And I'm going to move myself to the corner here so I can see. And I'm going to pop this up in a second, but I do want to thank, wow, Sue, thank you. These reviews, thank you. They're so helpful, each and every one. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I see you, Dustin. I'm going to put you in here as well, just in case we have time. Oh, I heard that super chat come in. Thank you. No payments necessary. Please don't feel like you are obligated to pay or support in that kind of way. But I am very grateful and I'm really excited. So let's talk about Marissa's stuff. So this is a website, awinestory.com. I'm going to move my, I think I can move my positioning. I'm going to move myself to the upper right so you can see me there. All right. So a wine story, Marissa Devari. I love the idea here, the label of the wine bottle on the upper left-hand corner. That's really cool. That's really unique. I love that. However, I don't know exactly what I'm going to get here yet. A wine story, I think we keep that. All that we need to do different is when people land on this page, I want some tagline or some sentence in the upper right-hand corner next to this bottle that helps me in 5 seconds understand what it is I'm getting here. Am I getting a fictional story right now? Am I learning about wine itself? Is this a website to help me be a wine connoisseur or a, what do they call it? Like what's the version of like the Grand Marshal of chess? We just saw Queen's Gambit and finished it yesterday. Amazing, by the way. But what's up, Doug Smith? Good to see you here. But there's like a specific term for people who are very into wine and are like the top wine tasters in the world. I don't know what they're called, but anyway. Okay, cool. So let's start here. So that's what I would start with, right? A sentence. What is this really all about? Your elevator pitch, if you will. That needs to be here. And again, I don't know what I'm getting here yet. I'll probably find this out when I start reading. Looking to learn wine fast? Well, there you go. That's good that this is here, but I think we can put it up here a little bit more just because that's where people's eye go. The vineyard here captures my attention. So because I have attention there, let's add that tagline to where attention is actually put. White text might work, or even just like a block of text as well. One other tip for all of you, you should be definitely checking how this looks out on mobile. I'm not going to connect my computer right now, but definitely your website, you want to check on a mobile device as well as on a computer, especially for a website. On YouTube, obviously, they got that all taken care of. You don't need to worry about that. But for a website specifically, what does it look like on mobile? How does the experience change? Is it even better? In which case, let's adopt some of those things here on the web. And if it's actually not so great, then we need to fix that because many of our visitors now are coming from mobile for sure. Okay, so first of all, a Start Here button. That's excellent. One quick tip for Start Here buttons is let's make it even more clear. Maybe we can make it a red button or a red hyperlink or a background behind it, right? Just to kind of draw my attention there even more. I would have skipped over it if I wasn't purposefully going through each of these things. But I'm going to scroll down a little bit more so I can see if I can learn more. Looking to learn wine fast? Welcome. I'm Marissa. If you are looking to learn wine fast, you've arrived at the right place. So I think the biggest thing here is like, what does learn wine mean? I think learn wine, sommelier. Thank you, everybody. What does learn wine really mean? I think we need to go one level deeper, Marissa, in terms of, okay, well, what does learn wine mean? Learn how to taste wine and understand the flavors? Is it learn about the industry and the market? Is it to learn what is the cheapest wine so I can best entertain my guests? Is it similar to Gary Vee in Wine Library TV? Is it to learn about wine pairings and, what's cheap and I can get right now? So I think we need to get more specific with learn wine fast. That is helpful. I can come here to learn something, but what exactly is it that I'm actually going to learn, right? So a great alternative way to immerse yourself in wine right away to check out my curated collection. So curated collection, right? So she's gotten diplomas. I think it's really important to share some proof about, okay, why you, Marissa? And this is the first time I've seen this. And I like how you sort of brush this off, but you still mention it anyway, right? And though I've received diplomas from the best wine institutions and teach wine, I love sharing my daily wine experiences with you. I love that language a lot. I think if you could pull out perhaps the Forbes, I know you have Forbes articles, maybe some logos of these universities where you've gotten diplomas from, or even your diploma itself, just to kind of be a quick indication for people who are here who are like, oh, well, why you, right? You could say these things, but when you show these things, it's proof, right? So let's scroll down. Cool, so a little blog post situation. This is really beautifully laid out. I love the images. 7 cheers for Spanish sparkling wine you'll love. 3 secrets you'll love about French Malbec wine. Malbec. 3 exciting secrets. So I love the sort of 3 thing. That works really, really well. We got Luria here from Live Streaming Pros. Thank you so much for joining and becoming a platinum member. That's so fantastic. Thank you for doing that. If that is indeed you, Luria, and thank you for leading the chat this morning with Michael Stelzner on Clubhouse. That was super fun. So cool. I like if you know that the sort of 7 or 10 or number-based types of things go very well, then keep doing that. I love that. So here we go. There's the University of Davis, the Aggies, and Circle of Wine Writers. This is really cool. Okay, so this is down below, and that's fine, right? I think if you included maybe a few of that up here, or maybe even up here in your cover art area, it would help me understand that, wow, this is a pro I'm talking to. What I felt wasn't really working was this sort of like email style of intro, right? I think we need to just get more upfront. I want to see you, Marissa. The only place I see you here is in this little box in the newsletter area. And I want to see, hello, welcome, I'm Marissa, and I'm here to help you learn whatever it is. And then a picture of you holding wine or you know, in some authoritative fashion, right? It's important to do that with your images. A lot of times we will just put our image up there, but if it's specifically something where you know that there's other options and we need to show our authority in something, you could do the white coat strategy, right? There was studies done about how people pay attention to people who wear white coats because they think they're doctors just simply because they're wearing white coats. They look smarter, they look more professional. I'm not saying wear a white coat or a red coat for red wine or anything like that. I'm just saying put yourself in a position with an image to then display what it is that you're trying to perceive for people here. So scrolling down. Okay, so 2 quick things here before I move on. Number 1, get your monthly newsletter and food and wine pairing guide free. I love how you're offering something for free here, and sign up and enjoy. Name, email, very small, but I think that we need to share a little bit more info. And also, this is a picture of you here. I don't think a picture of you should be with the guide. The picture of you should be with the welcome message. A picture of the guide itself should be in there instead. That, or you might have a little bit more information, right? You might have a little bit more information that might say, you know, one of my favorite things to do is pair food and wine. And I've kept track of so many different things that will help you entertain your guests and your taste buds at the same time. So sign up below, because every month I'll send you new food and wine pairings to help you look good in front of your, or, you know, like I'm trying to find the benefit there. Or you might even share an example. Hey, did you know that wine that is more sweet pairs better with this? If you didn't know that and you're interested in more food and wine pairings, subscribe below. So you're already giving even just a tidbit of value, or is it the tannins? A tannin of value. And sorry, that didn't work as much as I thought it was going to. I was trying to be pithy, but it wasn't as clever as I thought it was going to be. Your tannins. Anyway, so I think we could do a little bit more there, because that is really important to get people on your email list. I see you do a good job of it down here, right? Learn wine fast, the essential guide to taste, talking, choosing wine like an expert. Be the first to know when Marissa's book is released. Okay, so this is actually a little bit different. So now we have, interestingly, 2 call to actions. I would only have one. In the book, for example, is something that maybe people see on the blog posts or when they're on your email list coming in from that very, very good thing that we talked about earlier, the food and wine pairing, right? Because if we don't know who you are yet, why would I subscribe to get your book or learn about your book, right? So earn that relationship first and then do the ask, right? So the last thing I want to do here is go into the start here area, because that's going to be really important. Welcome to a wine story. Your wine discovery starts here. Wow, okay, this looks more like what the homepage should almost look like in terms of, you know, your wine story discovery. That That just gave me goosebumps because now it's like, well, my wine story is different and you can help me find my wine story, right? So want to feel confident and excited when you try new wines? Yes, I do. Why isn't that on the homepage, right? Unfortunately, Marissa, we're falling into this trap that most people fall into, so this is at no discredit to you. We talk about ourselves first, like, hey, I'm this is what I am, and this is what I do, and this is what I do here, and this is what I do, and then finally, here's what I can do for you, versus, yo, your wine discovery starts right here. That should be the tagline at the top. Let me know in the chat if you agree with that, because that is really good. Your wine discovery starts here, and then want to feel confident and excited when you try new wines? I'm here to help you do that too. Here you say, we want to do that for you, which is interesting because is it a we or is this Marissa, right? So I think that's really important, just an important sort of pronoun distinction there. And then, wine story was created here to teach you all about wine, beginning with the wine stories. And then here, this is where this is really great. Let's get started. Step 1, boom. Step 2, boom. You're having people sign up. This is great. This is a beautiful page, even though it's not perfectly laid out. There's a picture of you, Marissa. I love that picture. Let's put it on the homepage, right? Maybe one of you holding a wine glass could work too. But anyway, I love this Start Here page, and that's exactly what you should be doing on a Start Here page. Like, okay, do this first, do this next, do this next. That's where you actually now have captured people's attention, and you can actually have them click on things because now they're paying attention to you, right? Boom. Great job, Marissa. Thank you. Well done. All right, we're going to move on to our next person. Thank you, Marissa. And I don't know if you are in the room right now or not, but Marissa is a member of SPI Pro. She's also a student of mine in a couple of my courses, and she's doing really, really, really good. So the chat for Marissa, if you are watching this later, they're in agreement with a lot of the things I said. Hook first, true, yes, really good, awesome. And I think I really love this website. It, like, with just a little bit of tweaking with the tannins, we could go a very long way. That doesn't work. I'm going to stop there. I've already dug my hole. Okay, so let's go back to YouTube, and we're gonna go to, let's see here, Dr. Severin Brian, and we're gonna dive into some YouTube. We're gonna dive into some YouTube stuff. So let's see if I can find you. I will recognize you from your avatar here. So I think that's really important and something to pay attention to. This idea that an avatar can help connect. If I see your comment somewhere and I go to your page or I go and look you up, if I can find the same image and it's very clear, I recognize you from that yellow background, and the way you're positioned, the blue and yellow also speaks to me because, go Bears, graduated from Cal. That, I don't know, every time I see blue and yellow together, I just think of college, and it brings back good memories. So thank you for doing that for me, Dr. Severin Brian. But this isn't about me. This is about you, right? This is about you. So let's dive in here and let's see. So this is, again, for all of you watching this right now, this is going to be the first experience that a brand new person will have when they come to the website, or to here on the YouTube homepage. So let's see what happens, what I see. Am I interested? Am I curious? Am I not sure? Let's find out.
Welcome to our channel where we talk all things money.
Can you guys hear
All the
that?
things you can think of that impact money, we'll be talking about it here on this channel. You'll hear discussions around money mindset, budgeting, credit, managing debt, and everything in between. We'll also have guest speakers popping in and out as we explore the big, wide world of financial literacy. Would you do me a favor and hit that red subscribe button? I would love to have you as part of our Abundant Life family. I look forward to interacting with you. My name is Dr. Severin Brian. I'm a financial educator and coach. Again, welcome.
Yo, I really like that. That's actually one of the better welcome videos that we've seen. Football Planet says, Pat, please shave. Hey, one day I will, but I'm comfortable in my body and my hair right now, but it's all good. Sev Talks Money, thank you so much for that welcome video. So you did a lot of great things there. You welcomed people, which you should do right away. And then you went into what this is all about, right? And I absolutely love that. And did you hear at the end, she then started talking about who she was. She's a coach, financial literacy, etc. I really, really love that. And I think that was really, really great. One thing that I think we could go deeper in is to potentially either tell a quick story or do something that relates to the person watching, right? So for example, you might be able to say something like, hi, my name is Dr. Severin Brian. I'm here to help you on your money journey. A lot of us, we're not taught money in education, and we have to figure it out on our own. And I want to cut that time in half, if not more, for you to help you by sharing things about X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all those things that you just talked about. my name is Dr. Severin Bryan. I'm a coach. I've been doing this for several years, and I know that I can help you not just save money, but save money more quickly. So make sure to join me. Click that red button. I love that you mentioned that right away, the red button. I went to look for the red button. I see the red button, and I want to click on it. So I absolutely love for that. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. So 206 subscribers. You're on the move now, which is really fantastic. And let's keep going here. So let's look at the artwork here. Tools and tips to help you crush debt, build wealth, and gain financial freedom. Live streams on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, plus bonus episodes. Cool. So I love the text there, the purple. It's interesting because you have like purple and yellow, and then in your avatar you have blue and yellow. Maybe if you were wearing, or you can change the color of your cardigan to purple, that might connect it just a little bit more. But again, not a problem. I'm just getting nitpicky here. And when you hear me getting nitpicky, that's usually a good sign. Now, I will say there's a lot of things going on in this artwork. It's almost too much now, right? Tools and tips to help you crush debt, build wealth, and gain financial freedom. But there's a stock photo money tree that's not necessarily centered properly down here. There's this stock photo thing of a dude throwing a chain past due debt. You with the I like you with the calculator though. I like you up here on both the left and right hand side. I would recommend centering the text, having you on both sides, one with a calculator. I like that sort of juxtaposition on the left hand side, debt, how much money do I have left to owe, etc. And then on the right hand side, you like with the dollar bills. I absolutely love that. I would get rid of all the noise. Get rid of all the noise, get rid of the money tree. You're talking about the things that people want to talk about. I don't think we need to reinforce that even more. So again, I really love that. So let's go into her videos to see what she has done. And okay, let's see. It looks like you are publishing a couple times a week, which is really good. I love that. Let's scroll down a little bit more to see what's going on. All right, you're sticking with the purple theme and the yellow. I really love that. That reminds me of a friend of mine. Her name is Charlie Prangley. She does a very good job of this as well. Actually, let me go to her channel really quick so you can all see. And this is something that we can all learn from. The idea of branding your page. She is a designer. And just last year, she was at like 42,000 subs. Look at her now, 187,000 subs. But look at her videos. She doesn't even have a welcome video, which I think she could benefit from. But look at her videos too. There's a language there, right? Faces work really well. Faces taking up about a third or a quarter of the screen is usually good. If you're a little bit smaller than that, it almost doesn't make sense, and it almost like works against you if you're a little bit smaller. So we're gonna go back to Dr. Severin Bryan, and look, she has different colors, right? Her colors match, purple, blue. She actually has created and color-coded her videos. And okay, sorry about that. She's actually color-coding her videos a little bit, and she does have some text on there too. But she color codes her videos based on the type of video, and she's doing an excellent job. She's being very consistent. Let's go back to you, Dr. Severin Bryan, to your video library here. And you are color coding things. However, look at how small you are. I can't see your face. I can't connect with you. It's the same image as your avatar, and I don't think that's using your personality that can come out in an image in the best way possible, right? This one here actually is nice. This one here on the right-hand side, because I see a much larger face and I'm able to connect with that. But these other ones, it's a little bit too small. It's a little bit sort of, too professional of a photo, if you will. I'm curious to see which ones of these, if I sort by popular, most popular. So you got the welcome. What are your money triggers? Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you haven't had a video really pop yet, and I would encourage you to keep going and experimenting with. And I cannot tell you, all of you, how important thumbnails and titles. It's everything. I was in a Clubhouse room the other day with Mr. Beast and a whole bunch of other people. He spends more time on his thumbnails than he does creating the videos, and you've seen his videos. Right? And I know he's more the director and he has a whole bunch of team members editing and stuff, so he's not actually editing and all that stuff. But when it comes to the actual day filming, I think he's comparing that versus the days that he spends creating thumbnails. And he changes the thumbnails 6 hours after they come out just to see what works better. It's that important to him. I'm not saying you have to do that too, but all that to say, like, the biggest creators on this platform are spending loads of time on their titles and thumbnails. And the more time that I've spent on that, the more results you will get. It would behoove you to do that, because People are not going to click and see your video unless it's worth clicking on. So Dr. Severin Bryan, I'd love to see your, she says, thumbnails are my kryptonite, right? That is definitely true for many of us. And it's a practice, right? It is absolutely a practice. So canva.com is a great place to start. And I think that you could benefit more from having more of your face show up on one side, in the background something that maybe denotes the thing that you're talking about, or even not. Maybe it's a little bit blurry or sort of not too distracting. And then you have a word or maybe three that describes what it is that this video is about. So let's see if we can maybe do this exercise, right? So here in this video, money triggers, fears, phobias. First of all, the title of this one, let's see how you hook me, by the way.
Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank.
Okay, so first of all, for everybody watching, you might be like, well, that's a terrible intro. Well, this was a live stream, right, Dr. Severin Bryan? So mind you that when you're live streaming, it's like kind of hard because you're kind of live streaming to nobody, right? So I think it's really important to understand, however, if you do want to keep these live streams up and available for people later, we have to start as if people are watching right away, even if it's a live stream. This is something that I've been learning to do here on the channel, and then I come back and I update the thumbnail if I need to. I change the description if I need to, because these videos that are live can be percolated out there. They might be able to be seen by other new people. However, if you start with, hey, everybody, like, let's just wait a few minutes for people to come in. Anybody who has the opportunity to come in here, maybe you do even create a good thumbnail and title, they're going to come in and they're going to go, oh, I have to wait. Like, I have to do work to figure out where the good parts are, versus starting right away, whether it's a live video or a pre-recorded video. Let's start with the hook right away. I also think that the title could use some work as well. Money triggers, fears, phobias that minimize abundance. I don't know what necessarily that means to me. It almost seems like a index at the end of a book versus a phrase or a question or a statement or something that speaks to me as a person, right? You need to get into the psyche of who it is. So check one of the newer ones. Okay, I will do that. I was just going with what was most popular so far. But let's go sort by date added. Okay, so that was date newest. Here we go. Accept the challenge, 52-week savings challenge. Okay, so here we go. Budgeting for beginners. This one was streamed, so it might be a little bit different. Although I do want to see how you started this one, because I know you've been watching this and learning.
20% of Americans do not have any savings at all, or are saving nothing at all. Today, we are talking about saving money. And in particular, I am wanting to invite you along as I take.
Okay, beautiful. That's a much, much better way to start a live stream. So you've been making improvements on your own, and that's fantastic. We saw the before, we saw the after. I love that. One thing I will say is that you started there with a percentage, a fact, a case study. I love that, because it really shows that, number one, even just a little mark like that shows that you've done a little bit of research, and people can start to think about, okay, well, am I within that? But I think we can take that a little bit further, right? What does that mean, and why is that important would be the other part about this, right? So what did you say? Only 24% of Americans are actually saving money. And one day, you're going to grow older, and you're going to retire. And I want you to understand that if you're not saving your money, and if you fall within the 76% of people who aren't, and if that's you, we're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. Like, let's just hit them at the heartstrings, right away. And then we go, yeah, you're right. Because the statistic is one part, and then I have to do the work to think about where I lie in that. But if you can help me, Dr. Severin Bryan, get the emotion. And as you know, as a financial literary coach, there's so much emotion, there's so much people, there's so much heart within the realm of money. And I think that with your great personality, your ability to show up and bring a smile and help people, when you bring that emotion in the words that you say, people will feel more connected with you. And I think that's really important, right? I think that's absolutely really important. Thank you for the thumbs ups, by the way. Appreciate you. So let's go back into this, and let's look at this other video that I know is pre-recorded, and then we'll see what we can do from here. So let's just look at this thumbnail really quick. I'm going to zoom in. So first of all, these thumbnails all look the same, and I think that that's because this is a part 1 and part 2. Okay, that is a part 1 and part 2. So that's not too bad. And I think that part 1, you need to put the part 1 on part 1 and part 2 on part 2 so that people can kind of see each of those things. But part 2 here, let's see. Let's play this video. First of all, something that also caught my attention, small little detail again, and that's because you're doing a lot of things right. You see how it says like Sev Talks Money in the bottom left? If I click on this video, let me zoom out, and my check out where that Sev Money Talks is on the video now. This is just really important to pay attention to when it comes to where we put things. It's covered.
Hello and welcome to Sev Talks Money. This video is an addendum to the video I did earlier today.
I like the little graphics there. That's fine. Okay, so as you saw, the text was hidden because of the play bar. So any text that you want to share on the top side, right? Not on the bottom side. So that's just something important to know.
On budgeting made easy. I did not have the correct spreadsheet available when I did my live stream, and I just wanted to make this video as a supplement to that video that I did earlier today. Again,
okay, so if I'm coming in and I'm seeing this video for the first time, I need to understand that, or we need to understand that some people are going to be seeing this for the first time and won't even know what you're talking about. What spreadsheet? What other video? What are you talking about? So I think we just need to get a little bit more clear, but you're doing a lot of great things right. You're hitting live, you're going up there. I like your camera work here. I feel like I'm just in your living room with you and you're teaching me some stuff, and I really love that. And I would use you as the advantage here. Nobody's like you. So show up more in your thumbnails. And I think we just need to get very, very clear in the very first 20 seconds of the video. Hey, if you're watching this video, today I'm going to take you into a spreadsheet that will help you organize all the crazy finances that you have, and it's going to save so much time, and it's going to save you so much money. You might have seen this in my last video. If you caught it, if you didn't, click in the link in the description below to check that out. But either way, I'm going to go through 7 things to help you as a beginner who's learning how to do budgeting, right? So cool. Hopefully that's helpful. I am very proud of you, first of all, because I know a couple weeks ago you were like, I don't know, like, you're going to pick me apart. And yeah, that's what I do here. But at the same time, I'm here to help you, and I think you're doing a lot of things right. I would just say keep creating, because you already have 200 human beings who are looking forward to your next videos. And no, not all of them are going to see every video, but as you go along, pay attention to which ones are doing well, and a lot of it's going to happen as a result of 3 things: title, thumbnail, hook. Title, thumbnail, hook. Those things, you know what you know. You're an expert. You can help loads of people, but you won't help loads of people if you don't get the title, thumbnail, and the hook right? So the title for this one was much better. Budgeting for beginners. Demonstrating my superpower spreadsheet or something like that, right? So Dr. Severin Bryan says, awesome tips. Thanks a million, Pat Flynn. You're welcome. And thank you for being on the chopping block with us today. Very, very good. Very good. Good job. Bill, thank you. Truth in Love from Pat Flynn. Thank you. I like the camera angle here versus angles where the camera looks up at us in an unfavorable light, says GTO. Yeah, that's so true. I think you're doing a great job here, right? This is straight on, right? Your camera has a lens, and your lens should be at eye level. That's how we meet, as they say, eye to eye. Versus if it's more like if I were to switch the camera to, and this is just, many of you know this already, but many of you might not, although I don't have the camera available for me to use right now. Anyway, if the camera is looking up at you and you get the sort of nostril look, it's not embarrassing. It almost looks too overpowering because the person viewing looks like you're just kind of looking down at them. And the other way around, if it is too high, it's almost like, well, you have just this perception of less authority or other people looking over you. Let's just be eye to eye, right? Let's be eye to eye. Very cool. All right. Let's move on to Mr. Fit Over 50. First of all, love the name. Super easy to remember. I love that. And again, Dr. Severin Bryan, thank you so much for letting us dissect what you have started. And let's have that inflection point now from where things are going to grow like mad. And I love that. All right. Let's see. Fit Over 50. There's a question here from PR Leather. What's your guess on how long it would take to set up a web shop selling shirts, etc., and make $2,000 per month? Well, you could set up a shop overnight. You can use something like Samcart or even Shopify to do that for you, literally overnight. But in order to make $2,000, that's a whole different process. And I think there are ways to speed up that process. There are ways to sort of just like wait on it. And I think it's really important for you to see what you can do to help people and connect. And perhaps it's advertising that helps speed up that process, or you getting in front of other audiences, or maybe shirts specifically that speak to a certain group of people. That'll help you. Okay. Let's see. Dawn says, doesn't a camera from a tad above bit better complementary to a person? For a picture, yes. For a picture, in fact, that's very true, because you don't get like the sort of bottom side of your chin. You look a little bit thinner from up there, etc. All those things that flatter work at a higher level for a picture. For a video, however, I think a little bit higher is okay. Excuse me, I had a ding on my message. But I think that eye to eye is perfect. Cool. All right. Let's move on. Fit over 50. Now there's a few fit over 50s. In fact, there's one with one subscriber here who I'm just, okay, nice to meet you, or abs. Number 2, fit over 50, cool, nice picture, but it doesn't really speak fit over 50 because he's just kind of in a sweater, and like, how does that perceive fit? But this one here, this is who we're looking at. And Corey, this is you. I like the image. It's like a painting, but I also would love to see you there, right? Is that you? Is that what you look like? And I think that, you know, the one thing that's right about these two is like, okay, well, I can tell this person's over 50, right? And so that's good, and I can connect with that person. This person, if this person is indeed over 50 and they look like that, like, awesome. But I don't see the face. Here, not bad. So fit over 50, boxing, karate, and fitness. Ah, okay. So this is how helpful putting some words in your artwork can be. I didn't know this was boxing, fitness, and 50, but fit over 50 with an emphasis on boxing, karate, and fitness. I understand the painting now, but again, I'd love to see you there, right? And I think that would go a much longer way. But again, I love the screen name. Very, very simple. Now, what's the one thing here that's going to make it more connecting, right? Because number 1, fit over 50, boxing, karate, fitness. You're telling me what this is about, so that's great. But I'd love to see perhaps a picture of you up there. I even love this image of, you know, these images of, I don't know if this is you or not, but again, think about this from the user's perspective. They're coming here looking for help. We want to know who we're going to be learning from. And unless we can already start to know, like, and trust this person, the sooner that we can get to that, the sooner it is that they're going to follow, they're going to subscribe, they're going to want to dig deeper, right? So I'm playing the role of somebody over 50. I'm 12 years from there. And I'm looking at this artwork here, and I see somebody literally getting punched in the face. I see somebody who's probably not 50 running a marathon on the right-hand side. I see 2 people competing, and it's jujitsu, perhaps it looks like. And I'm not feeling connected, right? I would love to see somebody over 50 crossing the finish line. I'd love to see somebody over 50 boxing and maybe not getting their face punched out, but perhaps punching a punching bag and smiling and feeling really good. And maybe that's you. And then there's a little arrow that says, hey, I'm Corey, right? Here to help you stay fit through boxing, karate, and fitness, right? So I think that's cool. Martin says, love your page. Going to sub as I'm a 56-year-old martial artist. That's awesome. Let's hit refresh and see if there's any, in fact, new subscribers since then. Because sometimes these definitely let more people in, which I'm sure will happen, but it's all good. So first of all, homepage here, you have your latest uploads. In order to best serve an audience here, we need to also understand that we have a lot more room to play with here on the homepage. Sorry, let me take my image away so you can see. We have a lot more room. You could have playlists, right? And I know you only have a few videos, but every video should be in a playlist. And I think it's really important that we show those playlists here. There should also be a welcome video, just like Dr. Severin Bryan. I think that we can have something that really quickly in 56 seconds, right? And again, if I didn't read your bio in your about page, which nobody goes to the about section, by the way, I wouldn't know that you're Corey. I just saw it when I looked up Fit Over 50 and saw it as sort of the truncated part there. So I would say something like, you know, hey, what's up? My name's Corey, and I'm here to help you stay fit over 50 through boxing, karate, and fitness. I am 52 years old at the time of this recording, and I feel great. And I've helped loads of other people feel great too, because you know what? The second half is always better. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, because in these videos, I'm going to teach you some simple things that you can do even in the comfort of your own home through the world of boxing, karate, and fitness. I'm going to help you start slow, but I'll help you get better and fitter faster. and I'm looking forward to helping you on your journey. So let's do this together. Thanks so much for coming in. And again, my name's Corey. Hit subscribe, right? So just a little bit of I don't know, a made up welcome video phrasing that you could use, but I think that could go a very long way. Again, and that fills out your homepage here. It helps a person feel a little bit more comfortable who's looking for somebody to help them out, right? Looking for somebody to help them out. So again, if I'm over 50 and I'm here and I need help, I almost feel like maybe this might be a little bit too advanced for me, right? Like the person in karate with a shirt off, is that person over 50? Like if it is indeed over 50 people that you're searching for and helping, let's lean into that. Every thumbnail, every image, every phrasing should be with that person in mind, right? The only thing that makes me feel like this is fit over 50 are the words fit over 50. Am I using Ecamm Live? Yes, I am, Nelly. For sure. So let's put me away here. I'm going to watch your video from 6 days ago. By the way, first of all, your first marathon, top 10 tips. Look at, that's a great title, by the way. Your first marathon secrets. You see how he didn't use the same words in the actual thumbnail as in the title. Your first marathon, top 10 tips. I love it. And then you have marathon secrets. This makes me want to click. This is why this video popped. Hopefully this encourages you, and this is where exactly I would stay, right? Excuse me. I would stay within that realm that you're doing there. First of all, hip strength, side kick, condition your hips to improve balance. That, I mean, that doesn't speak to me as well as my first marathon, right? People are looking that up. The thumbnail is really attractive. Side kick here, however, I'm not in karate, so I'm not going to kick on that or click on that, right? Condition your hips, right? So I would say this 2-minute beginner karate kick can improve your hip functionality, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. And it's almost like, first of all, and the fact that you're demonstrating this is sick. This is sick. Okay, I want to watch both these videos. So I'm going to watch this one to see what you did right here in the hook.
Welcome to Fit Over 50. The following are the top.
Okay, first of all, you need to have your face on the homepage. You look very friendly. This background, look at this. This is perfect, right? I don't know if the sweater is perfect, but we can always change that, right? Sweaters often, especially when it comes to fitness-related things, don't really go together, right? Although that's okay. Maybe it is more of the homey feel that you're going for. But look at this background, y'all. Boxing gloves, a picture of a family, flowers, and the flag. Wow. I need to see this as soon as possible. This is exactly what we need to see sooner on the homepage. In a welcome video, the lighting here is fantastic. You seem friendly. This would make me go, oh yeah, this is my guy, right? This is my guy. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing that. This is awesome. And the reason why people are sticking here is because you're probably going to say some stuff that's going to help me relate to what it is that I clicked for, right? So let's click and play more.
Top 10 tips to make your marathon a great celebration in no particular order of importance and culminating with race day. Number 10, since your body reacts to what your mind says before and during every training run, periodically repeat to yourself, I am a great runner. You're out there, which is great. So it's true, actually, no matter who you are. Number 9 is shoes.
Okay, you just got right into it, which is awesome, first of all. But yeah, nice background, great. So I want to play this intro one more time because there's one thing that's missing. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Over 50. The following are the top 10 tips to make your marathon a great celebration in no particular order of importance and culminating with race day. Number 10, since you're...
All right, so 13 seconds to get to the first tip. That is great, but there's one thing that's missing. Chad, I'd love to see if you can determine what the one thing that's missing is. It's very important because it can help establish a little bit of additional authority before you go into these tips, right? Because anybody could find any information online and read off a list. And I'm kind of giving clues to what's missing here. But why is it important that Corey mention a few of these things that's missing? Yes, GTO got it right. Your introduction. Now, introductions are important, but they should always be in alignment with why people are here, right? You don't need to say, Oh, and before I get into that, my name is Corey. I am this many years old, and I've done this for several years, and then 5 minutes later, then you get back into it, right? So what's missing is, let's do this hook again. I'll pause and I'll fill in the gap for you.
Welcome to Fit Over 50. The following are the top 10 tips to make your marathon a great celebration.
My name is Corey. I've been running marathons for 20 years, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that are even big. There are a lot of big things and there are a lot of small things that you can do before your first race that can completely change the game for you, whether it means you want to run a fast time or just finish without injury. These tips will help you do all of that. Let's get into it, right? So I didn't go, my name's Corey and I'm this and that and all these things. I just said the one thing that will get you to know that I know what I'm talking about, right? Or the one thing that Corey can say to get people to understand that all these following tips probably come from this person's experience. And that's what we want. We want to shortcut our efforts as viewers. But we don't want to waste time if we're just getting somebody to read something that we could find somewhere else, right? So that's really important. Some people were saying, mentioning no particular order. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I do think that you then lose the opportunity to have the number one tip be the biggest thing, the most helpful thing, right? And I think it's important to do that, right? Great job, chat. You are nailed it. You are really nailing it. And hopefully you're here as well, Fit Over 50. And I'm just proud of you for, even though you only have 8 videos, for stepping up and coming up here and allowing us to break this down for you. But we're getting very specific again, because again, you're doing a lot of things right. Dawn here says, well, a little bit more enthusiasm. I don't necessarily know that we need to do that. I think that maybe that can be true. At the same time, we don't want to fake who we are. With time comes comfort, and you look back into any other YouTuber's history, you're going to find that there's always just this level of a lack of confidence or a lack of experience or a lack of energy. And that's just because we're just getting started. And he's only 6 videos in. I want to say that, yes, you could probably get more comfortable, and that just comes from experience. But at the same time, your information is great, and that's good. So you just started a YouTube channel. You almost have a video that has 100 views, probably 100 by the time that we finish this. But yes, okay, you are here. Massive thanks. You're welcome. But first of all, this is great. I would say that you could sort of put the cherry on top in these videos by being able to say things like, these 10 things are really important. And we're going to start with the things that you can do right now. But make sure you stick to the end, because the final tips we have for you can mean the difference between you getting injured and the difference between you crossing that finish line. Do you see what I did there? I talked about something and a reason why to stick around to the end. And so just a little bit of time up front in your list to maybe just put a number next to each of them so you know what the last ones are going to be. And then you can let people know ahead of time why they need to stick around for those last ones, right? It might seem a little sort of manipulative, and guess what? That's important to do. Manipulation is only bad if you do it for bad reasons. But if you're doing it specifically because you want to convince somebody to stick around and get all the other information so they don't injure themselves, or so they run their first marathon with confidence and celebrate it at the end, then awesome. So we need to use these strategies too, right? So yeah, you seem comfortable, you seem relaxed. I think the sweater definitely denotes that. I love the background. It's so bright. If I'm over 50, I'm watching this, I see you, you're taller, you look slim, you look fit. I'm listening, right? The other thing that may or may not work, because it does take a little bit of additional time, is whenever you have a list of things, and keep in mind, lists work really well. You're going to see a lot of top X, top this, or 5 ways on SPI coming out later this year here on this YouTube channel, because those are the videos that, guess what, are getting the most clicks. Our video, top 5 business ideas, that came out a couple months ago that I said this was going to be our next 100,000 view video, it's at 80-something thousand views right now. It's on its way. So anyway, we're leaning into that a little bit more, right? Is it worthwhile to redo videos to work in hooks and call to actions, says Kathy? That's a great question. I wouldn't delete this video and then create another one. What I would do is I would follow up this video with another one later, and you can even have them cross-promote each other, and that will give some nice sort of, feedback both ways, and that can work to help strengthen that for sure. So I would just keep it up, because it is something that's now an ID, a content ID in the algorithm that can bring more people in, and it might feed more people to some of your newer stuff. So I think that's okay too. So let's see what else. Where I was going with this. If you have a list of things to share, I think it would make sense to include a little bit of text on the screen when you mention that tip. And another side tip is starting with number 10 and then going to number 1. That just often leads people to want to stick around to see what the number 1 tip is, right? So start with 10. Here's tip number 10, hydrate. Even if you're not running right now, we need to get your body, fluids, I don't know, you're the expert, I'm not, right? Although I have run marathons, half marathons though, but you could do, 10 and then it just, a piece of text pops up on your screen. A little bit of time on YouTube to learn how to do that on whatever program you're using can go a very, very long way. And just that alone is going to go a very long way. So going back to your channel here, again, see that this thumbnail doesn't speak to what it is that my outcome is going to be. This speaks to what a person's going to be doing, running a marathon, right? Round kick training. Again, this looks like I'm just going to be getting hit in the face. So I think that, again, I think a picture of you, maybe not even doing the thing that you're talking about, but just you in your karate gi or something, and then words that say, 5 minutes, 5-minute hip, or improve your hips even could work. So again, thumbnail, title, hook. Got the hook. We're just missing a little bit of a piece of you for authority. That's what I feel like is missing. I feel like that you're doing this because you want to help people. I think we all know that that's true. But also at the same time, you're doing it so much that you're forgetting to talk about yourself. And in order to better help people, we need to talk about ourselves a little bit so we can get people to understand why they need to listen to us and stick around, right? Cool. Fantastic. And I love that you're doing what you're doing. Just keep up the good work. Looking forward to seeing how you improve. We didn't even watch the rest of that video, but I'm curious if you're just kind of sticking around in the same position the whole time. Probably, right?
Have your body tell
I'm just scrolling
too
around
much
here.
about that, because I'm going to put a link in the description to a blog post that I did on that, on what I do.
Okay. I mean, I think that you could have each point. You don't have to hit record and just record the whole thing, right? You can use the power of editing to support this even more. So maybe in, tip number 4 is about water, right? Again, just using this as an example. Now you just are in the kitchen and you're pouring water and you're like, tip number 4, make sure you drink a lot of water. Water is really important because blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's move on to tip number 3. Tip number 3, you're in your garage and you're in a, the same outfit, different outfit, doesn't matter, but these scene location changes offer pattern interrupts, and it reduces the possibility of somebody zoning out, right? It reduces the possibility of somebody zoning out. Awesome. So let's move on to our final person. Sorry, I always do that. Dustin Bakey. Dustin, longtime friend here in the chat room with us, and we're going to be reviewing his YouTube channel too. So well done, Corey. And I want to know that it's Corey. I want to see Corey. I want to learn from Corey, and I want to have people get to know Corey, because we follow people online who we trust. We follow people who feel like they can be our friend and who understand where we're at. And I think that will go a very, very long way. Maybe every video starts with this background because it really speaks to, it's just a very inspirational background. Yeah, B-roll, exactly. Let's see, B-roll could work too. Dustin Bakey. Very psyched. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here to help you. All right, so Dustin, I want to make sure that you want your YouTube channel reviewed. Epic Higher Ed. Got it. I'm sorry. I was going to a different thing. Epic Higher Ed. All right. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing, this is you, I would assume. Probably because you have the ConvertKit shirt on that second one there, which is really cool. But it is Dustin Bakey is your channel, right? And it's Epic Higher Ed, perhaps, is the name of your just show, if you will. Am I in the right? Yep. Okay. Epic Higher Ed. Cool. Okay, so let's look at the artwork here really quick. Beautifully done because it has sort of this array. It's the first time we've seen this in a while where we see like picture next to picture next to picture. One of the pictures is the brand, which is really cool. I love the logo. It's you. You got the glasses in the right shape, the hairstyle. That's dope. I really like that. Although maybe you should be wearing a hat because I see you in hats up here and then down here. Nope, never mind. Just a couple times you're wearing a hat. You have the textbook thing here, which is great. Supporting compassionate instructors, striving to create innovative classroom experiences in higher ed. Cool. Okay, so how do we feel, chat, about that tagline? Supporting compassionate instructors, striving to create innovative classroom experiences in higher ed. To me personally, Dustin, that tells me what it is this is about, but it doesn't speak to me, right? There's a difference there. And I'm not in higher ed, so maybe you know this better, but even though it might say all the right words, it doesn't hit, right? Helping your passion for higher education by XYZ, right? I'm just kind of like, this is Yellow Pages, right? You're sharing Yellow Pages versus Speak to Me, right? What's Epic Higher Ed? Oh, it's a company that supports compassionate instructors striving to create innovative classroom experiences in higher ed. A little wordy. It does say the right things, but I don't think that that's necessarily what we want on the first impression for somebody here who, if they were in higher ed, it might go, oh, this is just like any other, or this is like a textbook sort of, related type thing versus like, how would you actually say, would you say that to a person? Like Dustin, if you and I were sitting across the table from each other, would you? And I'm like, yo, I'm in higher ed. I want to help support education, which is true. And you go, you know what, Pat? My channel supports compassionate instructors striving to create innovative classroom experiences in higher ed. And it's almost like a phrase that you're going to have to explain more. So how about like skip that part and let's get to the explanation part more, if that makes sense, right? Whoa, I like the suggestion of your epic classroom starts here. I really love that. A lot, actually. And it goes with the brand, right? It reminds me of Epic Gardening, a channel from a friend of mine, Kevin. I really love that a lot. Your epic classroom starts here. And that also allows you to almost cast a wider net, which isn't always a bad thing. I always say riches are in the niches, but people will likely benefit from all types of, people from all parts of education will likely benefit from what they have here. You have a welcome video, which is not necessarily a welcome video, but that's okay because you can put your latest video there if you just want people to see that, which is a very common strategy, which I think is what you're doing because I see that you have this posted 19 hours ago, which is great. I see that you're putting the timestamps in there, which is fantastic too. 704 subscribers, Justin. Let's get to 1,000 in like the next month or two, right? That's cool. So I want to hit play on this video in a moment, but I want to look down at your thumbnails. First of all, I was looking for playlists. This is the first example of somebody who we see who's done playlists very, very well. So uploads, popular uploads. I think that we can have, you have this other shirt that I have too, and this other shirt, and this other shirt. That was a weird laugh. Okay, so I love that. I think we can have more. So I would say, how would you categorize? What buckets of information do you have on your channel here? Each of those should be a playlist because what that does is it allows for more opportunity for a person who's here to get interested in just one of them. And once we get a person interested in one of them, they can then go into the rest, right? I love how you're using the colors here. Try to be consistent with the thickness of each of these. The blue one seems to be thicker than the green one. The blue one here is a little bit thinner as well, but that's not terrible. Uploads, popular uploads. Okay, let's watch this welcome video together, everybody, and let's see what we get out of it.
Let's go ahead and dive into some Zoom tips that relatively few people are using and can really set you apart as a standout instructor for your students. There's a good chance that sometime over the last 6 to 8 months, you felt like, why don't your students ever respond during a Zoom meeting? Why do they keep their cameras off? Why is it dead silent?
This is great. This is a great strategy just for any marketer is like when you ask questions that people can relate to, they're going to be more related to you. Now, you haven't talked about yourself yet, which is not bad. We mentioned that with Fit Over 50, but I do think that at some point here for the new viewers who find you, we do want to know who you are because then that adds even more relevance to what it is that we're learning. But let's just keep playing.
Well, probably because your Zoom meeting's boring as... Okay.
Okay, I love that. The zoom in, the little comedy there. This is entertaining. This is why you're likely getting more, like, look at this, 800 views in the last 19 hours, and you only have 704 subscribers. Fantastic. I love that.
There might be some other reasons, but the point of this video is I want to share some advanced Zoom tips and tactics that you can do to make your meeting more dynamic. And now, why the big accusation for you having boring Zoom meetings? Let's be real. You have been to a Zoom meeting where you've been bored. Be it a department meeting, be it professional development, be it wine and...
Jump cuts are not bad, right? You see how it cut there in the edit just to kind of get the sentence correct? That's totally okay. Dustin's doing this in the great way where he's hitting record. He's just speaking. You might mess up a bunch of times, maybe a lot of times like I do, Dustin. You can let us know. And then you take those parts out, you smush things together, you're good to go. And then you can zoom in every once in a while, zoom out. You have these jokes. Things are really good to go. And that's great. So you started with connection, which is huge. You know, why aren't our students doing this? Why aren't our students doing this? And then you got into, in this video, I'm going to teach you advanced strategies so that that can actually happen. You made a little bit of a joke in there. I love that too. Let's keep flipping play.
Happy hour with your friends. You may have had great intentions for that meeting, but it ended up kind of being boring. And the internet is at your fingertips. Why not go there? The distraction is huge. So in order to really keep people engaged in your Zoom lectures, in your Zoom meetings, it needs to be dynamic. And there are simple things that we can do that, yes, they are a bit more advanced, but they can go a long way to increasing just participation and engagement and a better user experience for your students. Now, the tips I'm going to go through in this video are definitely more advanced. It's not that the majority of people can't use them.
Okay, similar to, I'm just going to be upfront with you. It's a little wordy, just like in the title up top or in the artwork up top. I think that if you were able to say exactly what you said, and you've repeated yourselves a couple times in half the time, then you're more able to get to the thing that, so I see that you finally have 2 minutes and 16 seconds till you get to the first tip. That's a long intro. And again, I still have yet to find out who you are. And that just has to be a sentence, and you don't have to go too far into that. But I am finding myself, as I'm watching this, drifting a little bit. I'm just being honest. I think that what is helping people stay around, though, is your personality. And I love that. I would see if you can get more, how might I say this? I think if you got more, not to the point, that's not what I'm saying here. Just like get quicker to it, right? So yeah, it's a struggle of mine. That's okay. That's okay, Dustin. So one thing that's helped me, because this was me too. This was exactly me too. And this is going to be helpful for all of you. You might do a take, and then you start over and you go, okay, how can I say that? Because I know you're not scripting it out, right? And that's okay. I think that's better not to script. You know what you want to say and who it is that you want to serve, but you also don't want to script and sound robotic because that's not real life. Do a take, get all the mush out, get it out. And of course, there's going to be mistakes. And yes, you could probably work with that and smush it and turn it into what we see here. But then here's what I do. I go, okay, how might I say exactly what I said in half the time? If I feel like it's wordy, then I know it's going to feel wordy to those watching. So then what I do is I try to cut that in half, right? How can I say the same thing in, you saw it in my eyes. Great voice, good energy. Yeah, the energy, dude. The energy is huge. So you can supplement the energy that you have for your audience in the just getting to the thing. And the jump cuts are great, and the comedic elements are fantastic. That's something that's very rare for somebody. And I think that I can see this channel blowing up. I can absolutely see this channel blowing up, right? John says, I like your delivery. The delivery is great. I feel very connected to you. When you zoom in, you zoom out, you're doing all these right things. And think about this from your perspective, Dustin. If you only have to say things in half the amount of time, you only have to spend half the amount of time editing. So it would also benefit you as an editor to do that, right? And unfortunately, when we're teaching, and you're a teacher, when we're teaching on YouTube, it's completely different than teaching in a classroom, unfortunately. And unfortunately on YouTube, people's attention spans are so low. and they could leave right away. People can't leave in a classroom or just be super rude, right? So I already know that these are advanced strategies. I already know. So let's watch this again and see how we might be able to get into the.
Let's go ahead and dive into some Zoom tips that
So you're like, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm like, okay, let's go. 2 minutes later, right? So it's all good. It's all good, Dustin. Thank you for taking all this with understanding that we're trying to help. But this is really important. This will help save you time. This will help save your audience time.
relatively few people are using and can really set you apart as a standout instructor for your
Perfect hook, by the way. Help you stand out. You're talking to me. Tips that nobody's talking about. I'm in. And then you don't want to lose me, right? So I would just go there.
students. There's a good chance
And then I think the why is important here too. So in this video, we're going to dive into several strategies that you can use to, what did you say? Because you said it way better than I could.
Let's go ahead and dive into some Zoom
Oh, that'll help you stand out.
tips
And
that relatively few people are using and can really set you apart as a standout instructor for your students.
hey, in this video, I want to share with you a number of Zoom strategies that you can use to stand out that a lot of people really aren't talking about. Now, why is this important? Well, you might be leading a Zoom call and you find that your students are just not really engaging like you would. Maybe they're sort of, going off camera and they're not, and as you know, the more people who participate, the better the learning process is. So we need to know how to keep people engaged and how to keep people's attention. So let's dive in to these tips really quick. My name is Dustin. I'm here to help you run an epic classroom. And today we're talking about specifically these advanced strategies, which, you don't have to do all of them, but it might just be that one that changes everything about your classroom for you. And let's start with number 10, right? Or let's start with the first one, which is really easy to do. And make sure you stick around to the end because I also have a bonus tip, a little bit more advanced, but it'll get your students talking to each other about it too, right? Something like that. And again, that's not perfect. What's up, B-Roy? Good to see you here. Lex in the house, Joy Geeks. We're just running over some YouTube channel strategies for Dustin here from Higher Ed or Epic Higher Ed. But that is and you can see that took 30 seconds and then I'm into the tips, right? You're helping yourself because, and it would be really interesting to see in your, because you have the chapters here. You could probably confirm this if you go to your stats. It might not be enough time yet, but you will see it eventually. You're going to see like spikes at these moments because you're going to find that people are not wanting to wait. They're going to just go right into it. And then so you'll find that you'll have spikes in your video because people don't want the stuff in between, and you'll find that that's probably the case. Thanks for the example. You're welcome. So I love that we're getting deep here into the meat of this stuff.
Let's go ahead and dive into some Zoom.
Let's watch, let's see, that's advanced Zoom tactics. I like the thumbnails. They play to your personality. They're really great, actually. Really, really good. Zoom basics for teachers, POW, high impact teaching. Yeah, I think this, I mean, we can always make improvements, but these are great. Look at 5 must-know Zoom tips for teachers. And I love your face there. You're holding up the sort of 5 here. That's fantastic. New Zoom features. It looks like you're literally in the middle of telling me about these things. That's great. How to make attendance Zoom the fast and easy way. You're like, dude, keep doing that. That's awesome. And you see what I mean about like size of the face. Not saying you have a big face, but like you're zoomed in a little bit. Perfect. It's like almost half and half here in this situation. And I love that. How do you zoom PowerPoint? Which is better? Cool. This one could probably benefit from just getting a little bit more clear, having the logo of each of those things versus like really, really hard to see text. Cool. Yo, this is awesome. This is really, really good. I'm very, very stoked on this. And again, playlists. Probably have more. You could probably break them out a little bit. But dude, Dustin, well done.
Let's go ahead and dive into some Zoom tips.
Well done. Hey, everybody, thank you for today. I appreciate you. We were able to review 4 different web properties, 3 YouTube channels, 1 website. Hopefully you learned a lot. If you happen to be in the chat here, just recognize that we're going to do this next week because we do this every weekend and it's super fun. Tomorrow, we're just going to do a fun casual Q&A. We're going to put some music on, lounge around a little bit. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can for you, and we're going to have some fun and have a great weekend. Thank you so much for coming in today Team Flynn for the win, obviously, and I'm looking forward to seeing you online on Clubhouse. If you want to follow me on Clubhouse at Pat Flynn, doing a lot of fun things there. Dawn says, do you think people know that they can double click to advance a video 10 seconds? A lot of people know that, especially on a device, but a lot of people don't either. And it's not something that we can believe that people know to do that, right? We're not doing it right if we're like, oh, well, if you don't like this part, like skip ahead. What if all the parts were something they like that they wouldn't dare skip ahead, right? All right. Thanks, Pat. Your review in the spring really helped. But, dude, you're crushing it right now. Keep up the good work. We're making these small nuanced changes that are going to really help increase the followership and hopefully get that sort of spike that we are looking for. And, yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you so much. And, as always, Team Flynn for the win. You're amazing.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream.
Party time. Thank you for today. Fit Over 50 says, I've never said this before, but Pat Flynn, little bruh for you. And it's good to see you today. Hope all is well. Wishing you health, wealth, happiness, all the good things. And I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. I'll see you then. Peace out, y'all.
Bruh.